Man, you guys better keep your fingers crossed today. New Year's Day, I don't know why I'm out here. I'm just curious to find out if there's going to be anything major out here. Last weekend, Christmas Day and Tuesday, the day after Christmas Day, it rained for so long. And I know that the waters got crazy out here. And I was here like a couple weeks ago and found next to nothing at all major. And I prayed for some very monumental rains to come through to show us the light. And now I'm here in this urban creek, praying that we find what they left out for us, stuff that wasn't here before. Plastic, guys. Keep your fingers crossed. I'm not going to say I didn't find anything major. Last time I found some bits and pieces of pottery and then some marbles. And some other crazy things that I added to a bag. But they were all crazy out here, guys. I'm running late too. I could barely get my butt out of bed today, and I'm kicking myself. It's about 1:35 right now. I had basically a little less than 4 hours to cover this creek. Can't tell. Respect. Would you look at that? Welcome to 2024. I'm going to try to roll through here really quickly and try to see if I can spot some major things and not waste too much time. I'd like to cover the full length of the creek this time as opposed to last time, but last time I got out here I was like 2 hours earlier compared to what time I got out today. So I got to keep that in mind. I see a lot in that tribulation, a lot of new things. A lot of the sand has been replaced with dense sand and gravel. So who knows what's going to be out here. Let's hope they didn't overwash the gravel bars. Let's hope they place things right on top for whatever we desire to find this first day of 2024. Not the type of day I pictured myself doing something like this. Some of the time I would prefer to do something more spiritual and, something else on the first day of the year. Maybe go to Stone Mountain or something like that, but I did that yesterday. Man, you came from a long way. At least about 500 feet from here. And even with the pressures of the water, they still should have just pushed you deeper down into the sands of time. Or even just carry you about 50 feet from my experiences in the creeks of GA. Not 500 feet. Let me think about doing something with this little baby doll right here. Every time I try to do something, it's almost like they're trying to tell me to do something else with it, not leave it out here. They keep making me find it every single time for the past year and a half. Yeah, let me think about something. Alright. It looks like this might be a little bit impossible, guys. There's no way I can go slow. There's no way. There's no way. And if I don't go fast, I'm not going to be able to cover the other side of the creek. Well, I don't know about that one yet. Each and every panel that I find out here is unique. Let's let them keep working on it, guys. Let's stuff it under a rock so they flow over it for like the next year, and I'll come back and get it. Hold on. Let me find some rocks to put under, in the creek so they can work on that thing. Alright, there we go. That's good enough. You got to pile the rocks in front. You got to learn from nature how they pile rocks up, like in a row, like how they can't push things out. I might have to manipulate that thing a little bit though, because I know the spots they need to work on within it. Let me go ahead and add some more. Yeah, but you know what? I'm a crazy human being when it comes to this art thing though. Let nature do its own thing so it can create some masterpieces. I don't think you've ever known ever known a human being who would do something like this. To find something and then try to put it under something to make art to come back and get later. All right. I guess that's good enough for now. I'll have to think about that one later. I don't think it's going to go anywhere anytime soon. Another optical illusion. A fat piece of quartz. Where's this stuff coming from? Is that the bottom of a bowl? No, it's just clay soils that look like a bottom of a bowl. I really don't have to kick things around. Everything out here is mostly white. And as you can tell from the pattern of it, it's going to be sitting right on top where you can see it. It's light material. What a heavenly day. Look at this. It's beautiful. Once again, another possible piece about 25 feet later. It's flat. It's nothing. Oh well. Keep on rolling. I'm gonna let you know something though. When it comes to spots like this, another place that you can always look that you'll usually find something is right here. In this gap right under a log. Where the waters push up and things get caught on this lip. Just on the inside of a log. I'd say about half the time in situations like this depends on the thickness of the gravel bars. I usually always find something intact. Right on that lip. Just under the log. That's a good spot to find things. In GA, that is. In other places, other states, you can find them everywhere. It doesn't matter. Whatever's in the water, we're going to see it too. That could be something. That could be something right there. Let me go ahead and show you what I found so far. It's looking like 2024 is going to be no different than 2023 when it comes to loving and taking care of Mother and Father Nature. Got a tile puzzle piece, supposed to fit someplace. Look how geometric that thing is cut. Never found one like that before. Looks like it should fit right in some part of the cube. The Metatron cube. That's wild. I bet it does too. You're going to tell me to do a Photoshop part of it. And the weird thing about this, like I just told you, I don't know, 2024 might not be any different than the year before. Because this white thing right here is a sole of a shoe that I collected the beginning of last year. This is just part of it flaked off. And it's already made into that art piece. The sole art piece. And that's just part of it. And then a smashed can that's like a masterpiece. Look at that. And then of course, a piece of the board. A piece of the lady. It's supposed to fit with something else. Beautiful. But anywho, let me go ahead and take a look at this white thing right here. I think I lost my spot. You're gonna say you're a dumbass for real, man. There it is. It looks tiny. It's probably nothing though. And it's nothing. At least I'm picking up the garbage. All the artistic pieces. Yeah, I remember a few pieces. They were just in different locations, go figure. Man, this place, I know for a fact this place was running real hardcore. Due to the weather that they got, I know it was running hardcore and deep too. It's beautiful out here though. It makes me a little nervous when I see this line right here though. I don't know if that's the line that it only got that high. And you really can't tell from the top here. Now I see footsteps. Oh crap. Dude, I drove all this way. No, no. That's the kick mark. They were looking. They were looking alright. They probably covered, man, this is probably one of the best gravel bars out here, man. I suck, dude. This year's not beginning off. The way I was hoping after seeing that. That's never good. When you see things like that, when you know you have been the only one out in this place. And then you come across that. You know they covered all the gravel bars out here, and there's not that many. I'm thinking maybe we should be alright. Judging from the footsteps out here, anytime it involves children, I'm okay with it. I'm alright with it. I mean, look how tiny that little footstep is. They're like 5 years old, man. Let them have all the artifacts they want. I'll just pick up the artistic garbage and stuff like that. They might still be out here though. I'm trying to see if there's any dry marks around the edges. And I see a few. Yeah. They're out here looking with their kid. Looking for cool things, Da Vinci style. Let them have it, man. Let them have it. Good start to their year. But get a load of this thing right here. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, but Da Vinci, man, hey, we never thought we'd ever hear you say something like that when it comes to competition. Well, I can't tell if that's somebody out here, if that's just dogs barking, echoing through the landscape, and it transitions into some kind of voice as it goes through the landscape. Man, I'm wasting time. Get a load of this rock right here, though. What the heck is this? I've never found a rock like this before. It's not even a rock. It's like some kind of hard clay soil. Look at that. It's black on one side. It's almost like I can't find the light. You know, the sun is low this time of year. You can put a mark on it. It's almost like it was painted. But there's no evidence of like, that is a weird thing right here. It's like a hunk of clay soil that they painted or what? Those are just natural right there, you know. That's got to be natural. You're going to say, hey man, you just found something. This thing will definitely be filling up a pocket if I decided to keep that thing. That is weird. I thought it was a piece of ancient ash, but it's not. Let me take a look at this letter. I'm not sure I'm going to be adding it to the pocket just yet. I got a long way to go. Well, not really. I got to get moving. Get a load of this thing. It's in the water behind me. They weren't looking. Hold on, there might be another piece of pottery right here. No, that's not. There's this I found in the water back there where they were stepping. Get a load of this thing. It's tiny. Let's hope it doesn't float away. I can't tell if that's a Dalton or what. It's a tiny thing, and I almost stepped on it and disturbed it out here. Look at that thing. I thought it was just a piece of glass. But that is no piece of glass. About dang time. First one of 2024. That thing is about to be pulled out of here. Would you look at that thing? Of course they're going to be knocking. They're congratulating us on this tiny thing. Fully intact, not busted. I knew I was going to find at least one today. And we just recovered this thing. We saved it. We saved this thing. Beautiful. What type, I don't know. Let's continue on. Whoops. Wrong doll. The doll from beforehand that we saw in the very beginning, which is probably the twin of this one. This one is where it was left last time. What the heck happened out here? This is crazy. Major net tribulation. Some things that are light still can't be pulled out of here. And I even said it back there. I was like, I'm surprised to see you out here, little doll. The waters of eternity should have just pressed you down where you were left. And you would still be there. And they are. It's crazy though out here, man. It is. I mean, every time I took a step over there, I went down at least 7 inches deep within the soft soils. Which means everything was just not tripolated like crazy out here. Weird on how they can do things like this though. Uh-oh. Now how am I going to get around? The clock is ticking. I guess I'll go around the deep end. I found this thing. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Could there be a pot in there? Any soapstone bowls from 6,844 years ago. Snakes would be here in the springtime. Won't be doing this. That's fake. Whatever it is. Oh, man. I just get carried away with the beauty out here. You know that. Stand around. You're gonna say, find some more. You might see a hammer or an axe. Heck yeah. But get a load of this thing right here. I thought this thing was like a petrified bone. I did a strength test on it, and it didn't even budge. I think it's just crystalline soil though, like compacted sand. That's exactly what it is. A few million years old. I was hoping it was like a bone. But it doesn't have the crypt matrix. Why the heck am I still holding on to this thing? It's rubbing off on the hand. Because I'm curious to know what it is. See everything. This is what I like seeing after a rainstorm. You know there's major things probably further up the creek. If we don't find it here, which, you know, we should be finding it here. Go ahead and get the battery out. Add it to the pocket. Save God's life. All right. I know. I've been standing here for a while. This is another reason why I don't understand spots like this in GA. You can stand here for hours. You can actually get on in this thing, like I've done in the summertime many times. Usually some of the time they're not too deep. This is up to the waist right here, but not there. But how come we never ever find anything in these spots? Why? I'm not going to say I've never found anything. I mean, I was lucky enough like 3 times in the past 5 years. That's not a good ratio. That's not a good ratio. And I say it all the time. If this was Missouri, guys, if this was Kentucky, there would be at least 7 5-inch long spear tips in this thing. And after a rainstorm like what we just went through, they would be standing out perfectly like a piece of glass, like a piece of broken china, with their gleaming white, their perfect black reflection. I don't know how long I can stand here. The clock is ticking. It's 2:40. If I'm going to cover the other side, I better get moving. Beautiful though. Mesmerizing. I know you see that white piece down there, but it's not one. It's too fat. It's the perfect catch though. Just like those perfect gravel bar filters, this is it. Ooh. Yeah, that's a little bit too deep for us. Man, that joker right there just cost me like 10 minutes, man. Getting in and out. Well, you know, timing is perfect in many respects, though. Hey, it's a perfect triangle for a piece of glass on a piece of glass. Take it. I know there's more out here, especially when it comes to the pottery, though. I'm not going to say that I found my piece yet. I mean, oh, I'm keeping that, number 1. Well, there's the sign right there. They're either telling us there's one more, or I'm only going to find one today. This is such a spiritual hobby, it's not even funny, man. But this one could stand for many things. We don't know until we just keep on going, right? Yeah. Wish they would just tell us ahead of time. Nice little piece right here. Oh, yeah. Alright, talk about that tribulation. That's a new item out here for us to look at for, let's hope, not too long. Let's hope we get some more floodwaters out here to lift this thing up and carry it further down. That's a masterpiece right there. Look at that. What kind of tree is this? That's cool right there. Look at the line work on that. You're going to say that's just a weed plant. That's cool though. I like the line work in it, guys. I do. Nature does great things. But this is new. And look what they had to climb over. Look what they had to lift it over just to place it here. Yeah, they got some major flow overs up in here. Like I told you, it looks like it's going to be impossible to go slow out here today. And it's almost evening before you know it. 2:40. Oh, I'm sorry, little guy. Are you okay? Oh, hold on. Let me take a picture of you. I'm just out here exploring in your habitat. I hope you're alright. Are you just taking a dump? Let me go ahead and leave your habitat, baby. You're cold out here. I know. The floodwaters kind of like messed you up, I know. I'm sorry. Some of the time I feel like it's my fault. I hope it didn't do anything to your babies. I don't know when you had babies either. I feel like I should know that by now. No, I wasn't scared of them. I was just worried that I was going to step on them. Because I came close to just like clobbering them like you would never believe. Oh, that's cute. I hope they're not hurt though. Poor little guy. That's a good picture though. Let me go ahead and get out of your habitat, babe. Continue on what you're doing. Have fun in the garbage cans. I'm not the type that boots you out. If you see any Native American pots, let me know. I know you're asking, did you find something important? What do you think? I know you just said no. And you're right. Ding, ding, ding. But instead, I found this. That's all. What a bummer. That's the perfect catch. Perfect filter. It's at an angle, which makes it very substantial out here to catch something. And there was nothing. Well, next to nothing. Just a starter potted with a scratch design on it. Piece of metal. And a preform that's made of crystal. Not keeping it though. It was beautiful. Better luck next time. And I promised myself I wouldn't say that in 2024. It's pretty cool to have one sitting like that though. That's one beautiful piece, and it's not slag. It's from the bottom of a paint can. You can see the line. Yeah. It's been a while since I found one just sitting right up like that. The balance is working out today. I said earlier, I'm surprised there hasn't been more pottery. This is the third one, and so far they have been the exact same size. Weird. Well, close to it anyway. Beautiful. Yeah, I've gone quite the distance. I'm trying to zoom through this thing. Nothing recovered major, you know. Haven't seen anything major yet. I'm going slow and fast at the same time, but you know, like I tell you all the time in my videos, if it's out here, we will see it. There's not a lot of things that we're going to miss. Another new gravel bar. You know, trying to form right here on the edge. It used to be sand all the time. See, there's a piece of something. Is that glass? Yeah, that thing's better. That's glass. All right. 2024. First day almost in the books. Back to work tomorrow. Not making any New Year's resolutions. Thought I saw something. It would be epic if I can get to the other side of the creek, you know, and cover that little bit, but I'm still worried that it's going to be nothing but sand on that side like it has been for the past 8 or 9 months. Just walking, you find nothing but broken plastic and stuff. I don't want to say it already, but it's like when I do this in the wintertime, it's like I'm ready for the summertime just so I can have more time to look. You know, but we can't really rush it. We don't want to cause any issues. What's on the other side of this little puzzle piece? You're going to say, take it. You can make it another art piece just smaller than the other one. That's a nice one right there. Well, I don't know. It's big though. It's big. The more I fill the pockets with that means the less I'm going to find of the stuff I'm actually looking for. $3:58. If this was summertime, we still have 5 hours left. Instead, we only got like an hour and 25 minutes before the sun is setting on the horizon. And a little bit more than that just before it gets completely dark out here, man. All right. No, I'm not on the other side yet. I'm at the turnaround spot. Well, not really. I can go a little bit further if I want, but that spot has a tendency to not have enough things up there, and it takes a while to get through just to get up there. And I zoomed through this place right here like crazy. And I don't see anything. And there's a lot of new things out here too. I guess what I meant to collect today is all I meant to collect. I'm going to try to hit up the other side. I don't know if it's going to be a situation where I just get down there and figure out I don't have enough time to zoom through and pick things up, you know. But I did manage to recover this thing right here. I know it's not ancient, but it was caught up in some trees. Just a little memento for our travels again today. Not really priceless, just something to add to the stash. I'm not going to say better luck next time. We had great luck today with the little amount of time that we were out, even though I did get out here kind of late, you know. It's not easy getting out of bed when you do. Ooh. When you do 7.5 miles around the mountain, it's better on that side. Yeah. Uh-oh. I better get a move on. They just made me speak something through my emotions, man. They know how to pull words out of you. And they just said it too through us. Dang it. It's better on the other side. Crap. Should have known. How am I going to run through this thick sand? Thick, soft sand up in here. Just to get down there, they just said it. They said it. They spoke through the piece. And then the image of it, for what it is, gets transferred through you. Guided by the things that you like to collect and stuff like that. They know us in and out, right and left, yin and yang, backwards and forwards. They know every human being for who they are and what they are. Every ounce of the soul they know. It's better on the other side. Crap. Why didn't they tell me ahead of time? Because it would never have been said if I didn't find the piece. Meaning I was meant to go this far. And try to go through the challenge. Alright, the other side. Let's see what they're talking about up here. When they're talking about the other side is better. Like I said, it's probably most likely just something spiritual, nothing big. Just average random stuff, you know. And not really what we're looking for. Or is it going to be? That's one heck of a spear. Collapsation with new net tribulation. I don't have time to look in those soils to study it right now, man. I better get a move on. I got like an hour, or a little bit less than an hour. Look at our shadow. Well, there is no shadow. You can barely see how long the shadow is. You can barely see a shadow, period, man. What do I do to myself? Trying to find things like that. They said it's better on the other side. We're about to find out how literal they are. Let's hope they're not lying. Hey, it's a leg to a superhero. It's green on one side, and it's red on the other one. That's weird. You're gonna say collect it. It's weird. Not more weird than this thing over here to the right. I've noticed this here before. That could be some kind of ancient creek structure. I can't tell if it's a bridge from ancient times or modern times. It's the only place that I come across out here that's got rocks piled up on top of the clay soils, but underneath the red clay. It's on top of that, the gray clay. But it's underneath the red clay. That's what has me bugged about this one right here. It's almost like this was an ancient bridge at one point. Or some kind of ancient structure to kind of back up the creek. To create some kind of lake out here. I bet that's what that is. I bet the natives built this to create a lake. Just enough to get the waters high enough. Because we are in a flood zone. I love finding places like this. It's extremely mysterious, but can be extremely historic. And it's in one little tiny spot right here. It can't be a bridge because why would they build a bridge out here? They're native. The natives, they're ancient peoples. They were raw with everything. Barefoot, you name it. I'm not going to say they didn't care. They were like Nike. The greatest supporters of Nike. The slogan, just do it. We don't need a bridge to cross the creek. We can just cross the creek by foot. Let me go ahead and get going. Not too bad. I mean, as far as the time frame goes, I practically still have an hour before real sunset, though. In about an hour and 20 minutes before pure darkness. But I see a pattern, guys. I see a pattern happening right up in here. On this other side. I kind of figured it wasn't going to be anything that had to do with major artifacts or anything like that, but, you know. There's no way I can get it out. It's a masterpiece. That is a nice one. Easily screw it down, flatten it down on some whatever and add things on top of it, underneath it, around it. I've been carrying it for the past couple 100 feet. But this thing right here too, I'm definitely recovering this. It's just a piece of metal though. It's a perfect size for something else. But that's what has me thinking though. It's better on the other side. See, they're not always thinking about artifacts in history. They're like us. They know what we love. They know what we like to do with what we find. And they know what we love to collect and recover. Our enjoyments. They love happiness. Don't you? I know you love happiness. And you like to lead us to happiness, don't you? Ain't that the honest to God truth? Better on the other side. I tell you what, that is one flawless piece of weathered wood right here. Starting to make another stash for another wooden art piece. And that will definitely look good for it too. Look at that thing. I know you don't care about my weird arts. I know you don't. You want to see artifacts. That's what you're here for, is to look for artifacts in my videos and learn new things, you know. But I have a lot of genres and interests, so we're going to grab that thing. How am I going to carry this stuff back to the Da Vinci vehicle, man? It's not even going to fit in the bags. Man, am I ever going to look crazy? Man. Busted. Nice little Mora mount with a stem on it. Top is completely busted off. Well, anyhow, it is definitely a whole lot better on the other side. But you know, you're going to argue, why didn't you cover that side of the creek first? Because it's part of the game of life. You got to go through different sections. You got to go through different routes to find what you're supposed to find to lead you to other things. Boy. And how the heck am I going to carry that thing? That is a nice slab of art. And they scratched it up quite nicely too. The heck am I going to do with all this stuff out here today? But I know what the end result is. A new beginning for this stuff later. And it keeps going. But I knew it was going to be mostly just sandbars down here. There's 3 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. Dang. Not dang in a bad way. Cool. No, I just came down here to look. I was curious to see if I could go any further, or if it was like it was back a few months ago. When you see leaves like this, that's a problem. Even the heavy rainstorms couldn't even wash this out. Why? Why did it flood out here? I mean, I'm not talking about the flow of the water. That's what needed to be out here to pull this out, to give us more opportunity in the future. But something is backing this up, where it can't just blow through here. And I know exactly what it is. I don't even have to go all the way down there to find it and see what it is. I know exactly what it is. The main bridge, about another 800 feet down. I bet there's a log jam like you would never believe, sandwiched up against it. And it acts as a dam. I better get going. For real though, we have nothing left. Of course, not done yet. How did I even miss this coming down here? I stepped right over this thing and never even saw it. I know I got some fabric. What you know about that? Probably one of the better. Well, I gotta pick it up first. Oh yeah. Probably one of the better scrunched up pieces of metal I've ever come across. It's yin and yang. It's better on both sides. You know, I just found something. I didn't see it before because it was hiding behind the tire. It's so hard carrying this stuff strategically through the creek, guys. It is. Well, carrying it like a book, you know. Let me set this stuff down one last time, possibly. We gotta recover somebody. You're gonna say, yay, you found another one. Another toy. That's crazy. Just another character to add to the stash. And you're gonna say, everybody knows who that is. Is he backwards? The heck is he doing backwards? That's a lot better. Da Vinci style. Found another one. I know. I'm almost out of here. It's just taking a while carrying all this stuff, but I know what you're going to say. Save them. But of course I will. Add it to the bag. Well, they said it was going to be better on the other side. And it was nothing but metal and big panels. What you know about that? Let's go ahead and empty out this bag real quick, go over this stuff, get it done with Da Vinci style. Got some good things in this bag right here. 2 of them to be exact. Not bad for this beautiful day out there. Not a bad collection at all. A good mix of everything again. Got the wood pieces to start off another art project. More plastics. A couple of pieces of fabric. And a lot of metal. What I'm always looking forward to. And you already know. Dang. Da Vinci style for real, man. Look at that little sculptural thing right there. And they said it was better on the other side. Well, they spoke through us in a different way, making us say that thing by picking up one little piece. It's better on the other side. Which was this one? Heck yes. All right. Starting to make the stashes again, make the collections to get ready to make more art. And then, of course, the greatest side effects of all. Well, the thing we're primarily out there to look for. You know these things. And then some. Very great collection. Not as overwhelming as it usually is when I go out there and find these things. I guess it's balanced out perfectly. We found the larger pieces at the very end before we had to zoom on out of there. It was kind of difficult trying to get back, carry everything, or else stash it to come back and get later. Yeah. Got the cute little toys, last little thing here, probably from the 70s. Got more of this stuff right here. Some art pieces are yet to be made because I don't have enough. Because I need enough to make them just right. And every edition speaks volumes and helps out towards the process of a masterpiece. Very cool. Very nice. And what I don't use, I just end up trashing. But I end up using a lot. Yeah. And at about dang time, we were in a dry spell in that creek. I think I found one like this before. What is that? Some kind of weird Dalton? I have no clue. It's a tiny thing for real. And we've recovered this thing. As I was about to be pulled out of there. Who knows what they're going to have out there next time we go out. It could be a lot more than this. We just never know until we go. Quite the find today. Even with the pottery. Not as much as I usually find out there. This is well below average. But the balance is always out there. And there's the balancing right there. Because we do not find a lot of these out there. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed the adventure out there in that cold, beautiful day. Very nice indeed. Can't wait to find more. It's getting even better. Because they know what we're looking for. That rhymed. See you in the next video.